how's it going, everybody? Hey, Shank, I'm here to bring you another wonderful video. Merry Christmas for one and all. This is a Christmas theory. No, not really. It's just a nice, fun theory to go on about. I told y'all I'd be making the theory eventually, and we're here. So many things I wanted to go over. Hold up, because unfortunately, with me being a little bit ill, my voice is not getting picked up as good as it could. So let's see. Where the fuck do we got it? Move it back. Move it back. Broadcast high. That's gonna be shifted. We'll do broadcast low pitch. Just because as of right now my fucking voice is just not there. So, let me know if it sounds worse or better. I don't know. We'll find out, right? So today's theory, wonderful fun video on One Piece, is having to deal with that mysterious character that showed up at the end of last chapter. We will pull back all the information that we can get. Whatchamacallit. It looks like I can't actually look it up that same way. So let's see what we do here. Back it up. Back it up. Okay, so we'll open that one up. New tab. Open that one up right here. Okay. So we're going to go over the last chapter that we had, because it had a very special figure show up that we haven't seen since chapter 907, I do believe. Another key thing to take into account with all this is, do you think Oda would really make it so simple as to be like, oh, you know what? Shanks has been bad the whole time. Sorry, guys. Or would it be more interesting, maybe a little bit of a cop-out, that he had an evil twin brother the whole time? Now, this is what I do like to do, because I think a lot of theorists definitely like to gather information from different sources, different people, and we just want to know, all right, what did you come up with? What did I come up with? And can we figure out if this makes any sense, right? Yeah, I know some of the more wildish, crazy out there theories of, for instance, I know a lot of people very much think Crocodile is Luffy's mother. And when Ivankov was telling him, hey, don't you spill anything, Crocky boy, or I'm going to tell everybody your little secret. And he was just like, okay, fine, whatever. Like somebody who is so stoic doesn't usually flinch, but then, Ivankov's just like, I'm going to spill your secret, bitch. And you know what it is? They don't know, but I know, and they know that they don't know. But if I tell them, they're going to fucking be like, what? As it is, everybody flipped when they fucking found out that Dragon was Luffy's dad. And then obviously Garp being the grandpa and Roger being Ace's dad, right? But the crazy theory of him being Crocodile being the mother. Maybe it wasn't something as crazy as that, but maybe he had a hand to play in all this that maybe Luffy wouldn't appreciate, right? Because obviously, not like there isn't mothers in this, but Oda has kind of made it apparent that Luffy's mom isn't necessarily as important as like Sanji's mom, right? Or Usopp's mom. But those are just little things here and there. What we do have is this big motherfucker popping up at the end of the chapter, and it just has me questioning so much. So in the most recent chapter we had, we see a bunch of things that we have to take into account earlier in the chapter. What's her name? Lilith was mentioning how, I have a 20-year younger clone that had visited Ohara right here in this fucking box. It's Vegapunk, right? But we just got to get the lab fixed up, and boom, this guy will be able to come back, and he would essentially be the main Vegapunk again, right? Now, we know for a fact that Vegapunk can't replicate Logia's, but he seems to have a lot easier time doing Zoans and possibly Paramecium. That and all, why would we have a kind of foreshadowing in a way of Vegapunk's return, and yes, Kuma, while also toying with the fact that clones obviously exist, right? We have the Seraphim, which are clones of the warlords. And then when you finally hit this point, right? Could it be? And yes, I'm taking this from Joy Boy. He had said, what if the main Figurlin Garland, or the main Garland character that lived back then during the Void Century and with that great war with Joy Boy and all that stuff, could it be that Emu wanted to bring back a fallen comrade and someone that is very highly skilled? Because this is me jumping off of what other people have already said. Why is it and how is it that Shanks is able to copy and master Roger's, main move? Fucking hell, let me... Oh, hold up. There we go. Oh, let me scroll down. So as it's seen, only Roger and Shanks have ever known this move called Divine Departure. And I find that very interesting because, for one, Oda had already kind of given a little bit of during the SBS, I believe it was last month, if not October, when we got introduced to Figurlin Garland, officially becoming a 5th Elder, or one of the Gorosei. It was said in all that he is monstrous. He's powerful. He's gonna bring a new dynamic to the 5 Elders and stuff. And what if one of those things is his capability with the sword? Yes, we have Mihawk being the greatest swordsman, and obviously the eyes being very similar to what Emu's eyes look like. So you have people saying, what if, because Dracula Mihawk basically could have been a celestial, maybe a... Now this would be crazy. What if he was the child of Emu, and Mihawk was like, you know what, I don't want none of that. I'm fine with being the greatest swordsman, but I'm not going to be a celestial, right? I'm going to go hunt pirates and do other shit, right? And then he became a warlord. But maybe because Mihawk didn't fulfill that role, right? Because he's not a celestial, as far as we know. Maybe that's what made them go, hey, this other guy, Figurlin Garland, who possibly could have existed back then in the Void Century, and maybe this one that we have right now is a descendant from that one, who knows? And Shanks, and possible twin Shanks, clone Shanks, who the fuck it is the prime version, right? I don't know. I'm trying to... There's so much to go on. Because why is it that he looks so like him? But obviously, you only ever see one side of the face. And then, it would be very obvious if he did have the scar, because when you see Shanks... let's go to another fucking clip. Is it right here? Right. So when we see Shanks, his scar does reach a bit above the eyebrow area, which you would see even at a tilt. That the curvature of your fucking head, right? Makes a lot of people be like, well, maybe this is not Shanks, because you'd even see it just a little bit above right there. Second crazy thing. We have Loki, who is so pissed and so angry at Shanks. Why? One of the leading theories that I've heard is maybe it wasn't actually Shanks. Or it could have been, but a hand was dealt a little bit harsher than it should have been, right? Because we've seen Shanks has mercy, right? But he also doesn't. Bartolomeo is one of those examples, right? He had mercy, but he allowed his crew, or Yasop, I should say, to carry out and still fulfill, the duty of, like, hey, you still disrespected us. I would have let you slide, but we still got to have some kind of rules that we go by. And with all that playing out the way that it did, makes you wonder, because you could either have a flip of the coin, one being good, one being bad, obviously. And maybe the easy parallel of why... Now, I did hear Joy Boy say this, again, I'm not taking credit, but what if one of the main reasons why Luffy is kind of already pinned to possibly free Loki and all that stuff is because if he runs into this, quote-unquote, Shanks, and he sees that he has a fucking left arm, he's gonna be like, but Shanks, you lost your arm. How do you have it back? Or you know, the scar, what happened? You know, like, Luffy, it's hard to say how Luffy can be either that stupid or not, right? Some simple disguises, yes, fool him, but then other ones he's able to notice and be like, yeah, I know it's you, buddy. But this is one of those where it's like, it's up to the writer, right? Oden can make it so easy that for some reason Luffy just ignores that Shanks is missing a scar and is missing a fucking arm, or actually has an arm where there should be no arm. And then also this woman, right? The other, again, I'm telling you of other theories that I hear and stuff, but it's hard to say who this could be. People were saying like, oh, maybe it's Uda because of the same style that she has one eye covered and only seeing the left side or whatever. My thing with that, I think it's just a new character. It'd be far better to just see new God's Knights kind of take on an action role, because they have a lot going for them. Oh, sorry. I ramble on too much. I didn't even explain why we're here. So if you look in this photograph here in the background, you will see that they've landed in a throne room here in this castle. Now, while everybody's getting drunk and having fun, interesting, the pentagram that has been drawn on, similarly to the way that Brooks was going to be summoned on his little adventure during the whole Sabaody break. We notice here there is no number on the actual sigil, which is interesting because, yes, when it came to the Gorosei, it was numbered, right? And so that's kind of how some people may have connected that Jupiter was the weakest. And I mean, it kind of turned out to be true, because which was the one that was taken out? The weakest. The one that failed, yes, but the weakest. Something else we have to consider, how long has it been, right? Again, we already know for a fact that Loki has been locked up for 6 years at least. And he also says, or sorry, he doesn't say, but we also know 6 years ago, Shanks became a Emperor of the Sea. I definitely think Shanks has the capability to do so. So I don't think it's not him being qualified. But I will say, the fact that these canon events, if you would call them, take place in such a short time frame, because for one, the Gorosei / God's Knights, it seems like, can only teleport when they've already had either one, they're close enough, or two, they have an, I guess you could say, if you think of Naruto, right, with Yellow Flash and Minato, when he sets down a marker, he's able to teleport to that marker whenever he wants. But he needs to set that down first, otherwise the ability doesn't work. Similarly, the fact that this throne room is just completely trashed tells me that, for one, these people were probably involved, the God's Knights. Why else are they able to get themselves summoned directly into Elbaf, which is, this is the second level of Elbaf? They would have had to land on the in the underworld portion, and then, you know, climb the Rainbow Bridge. They did none of that. They literally just fucking TP, boom, here we are. What are you gonna do about it? You know, because something tells me, with all of King Harold and maybe a discussion about society, right? Where the saying goes, right? Weak men create hard times create strong men. Strong men create, well, basically easy times create weak people. Cycle kind of goes on, right? And with Elbaf having been shown in this light of, oh, you know, guys, we're the warland, we're a bunch of barbarians, savages, and shit like that. Sol even says it. Dorian Groggy, there are only fucking bases of what the ancient or what the older fucking Elbaf giants used to be like. Now, with Ripley and some of the other ones, or even just Sol being on Elbaf finally, we see that they're not actually invested anymore in the whole war, profiteering off of that kind of crap. But then that leaves a gap where now they're vulnerable. They may still have skilled warriors, but because they're not practicing, they're not doing the maintenance that needs to be done to keep that skill up, an attack like this can now be happening. Why is it now? You could say, well, it's because Luffy and them are on Elbaf. Are you sure? I mean, it all seems to happen so quickly. And then going back to this fucking chapter, 1132, you know, we had our little conversation with, Louis Arnett talking about, you know, don't linger on this island for too long, basically. And then we have ourselves what some people are saying is Shiki. Now I'm thinking maybe this isn't Shiki. Maybe this is, what's the fuck his name? This guy right here. Where the fuck is his name? I already forgot it. Oh my god, where is that? Mosa. There you go. So Mosa, and people are pointing out, well, you know, the Denden Mushi usually copies people, and this one has a mustache and it seems like a beard. Maybe it's an older giant that didn't get along with the older traditions of Elbaf being so barbaric. Maybe he was more of a peace-loving giant, kind of like Saul, right? And only after, obviously he's chained up, he has no, he's fucking bored, basically. This person offers their help. I feel, and obviously I'm probably wrong, because it's just a theory, maybe this is Mosa. And it is peculiar that this man is on Elbaf, just wandering around, just without a care in the world when you got fucking giant bears and shit. Meanwhile, we've seen, like, almost one for one, besides his mouth being fucking open, it's almost the exact same fucking image. Like, holy shit. The thing that I would say is to where I would assume this is a clone and not an official Celestial. Maybe that's why these guys have a problem with it, is when they enter, or I should say when he enters, you have the Gorosei basically say, where is he at? You know, you see Shanks' person enter, and you got Saturn. Did I say Jupiter? My bad, it's Saturn. You got Saturn over here saying, hey, what did you come all this way here for? And it's already kind of interesting because it's like, whoa, where would he have been? I appreciate it, you know. Hear it out, guys. No, that was Workery. That wasn't Saturn. My bad. I'm so stupid. Too many fucking names, I swear to God. But yeah, like, and then all he does is like, I want to talk to you about a certain pirate. Now, I don't think this pertains to Luffy at all. Sorry, I don't think this pertains to Blackbeard at all. This probably very much is talking about Luffy. Because when you think about it, who is the government most afraid of? Sun God Nika returning, right? Joy Boy. Because he can inspire people, he can create hope. It gives people something to look and to aspire to. And with them finally doing all this fucked up shit, not being able to secure the the Nika fruit, and long and short of it, turned out that, hey, guess what? Luffy's been making a name for himself, and he's been liberating countries, and he's been taking care of our problems. And the other thing, bro is now becoming emperor of the sea, and has even more power, and can't just be like, nah, dismiss him, because now he's got a fleet. Now he's got a whole fucking bunch of countries under his or territories under his claim. Maybe that's what they were worried about the whole time, is Shank's clone, Shank's brother, whoever the fuck it is, being worried that, hey, this guy is gonna make trouble for us, and you don't even know it. You ain't even doing anything about it. And lo and behold, here we're at the point where Gear 5th has emerged. More people are noticing Sun God Nika. So yeah, it's I would say not too good for the Gorosei and the whole government in general. But let me know what y'all think. I'm starting to run dry on what I could think of, but my main theory is this is a clone, not a brother, and that's probably why the disdain in their voices when the Gorosei were talking to him were coming from, because he's artificial, right? He's not original. Kind of see him like a smudge on their image. But other than that, yeah, we have ourselves a clone that is possibly from a celestial, and Mosa. I don't think this is Mosa. It is not Mosa. Mosa is probably that guy, that Shiki or whatever the fuck that guy is. But with that being said, Ace Shinigami signing out. Alright, anyways, Ace Shinigami signing out. Y'all have a good night, good evening, good morning, and I will see you in another one. Bye.